So since the essential question is what made the Fertile Crescent an ideal area for settlement, I first want to explain to you guys what the Fertile Crescent is, and then we can move on into the notes. These you do not have to write in, this information you do not have to write into your notes. I just want to give you some background information. So the Fertile Crescent is this area. It's a crescent-shaped area, which is why it's called the Fertile Crescent, that includes the land between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers. So the Tigris River is this northern river, and then down here is the Euphrates River. And so this area over here in the Middle East, it's mostly desert. It's very dry. And so in order for civilizations to occur and for you to have large amounts of people living in an area, they needed to live by the rivers. That was the only way that they were going to have fertile soil where they could grow enough food to support a large number of people. And so this is where they settled. And this Fertile Crescent is a very important area to civilizations. We get a lot of different civilizations coming into this area because it is the main area where people can live during this time. So the Fertile Crescent goes from the Persian Gulf down here all the way to the Mediterranean Sea and even over here into Lower Egypt. And we'll talk about Egypt later. We'll talk about Israel with Palestine over here later. But what we're going to talk about now is Mesopotamia, this area right here between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers. This is located in present-day Iraq. So now we're going to go ahead and get started with the notes. So what I want you guys to do is set up your notes like it is on this page. On the left-hand column, you are going to put this topic right here. So this is going to go in the left-hand column. And then in the right-hand column, you are going to write these notes. Okay, so early origins of Mesopotamia is that it was one of the first farming civilizations. And we know that the civilization occurred because they wrote stuff down. And so now we can figure out, okay, this is when they occurred. This is what happened during that time period. Before that, there wasn't a lot of writing going on other than cave pictures. And so it's very difficult to tell what was going on. But now we've got a civilization that has occurred. This is a complex society that has cities, governments, art, religion, class divisions, and a writing system. And we're going to go through and we're going to talk about each of these and how they related to Mesopotamia. So go ahead, put on your notes, early origins in the left-hand column, and then write the notes in the right-hand column. And then when you're done, you need to highlight in 3 different colors. So you need to highlight, it doesn't matter which color you're highlighting each of these in, but you need to highlight your topic in one color. So all of your topics throughout all of the notes are going to be the same color. And this is going to make it really easy for us to figure out what is in each of the slides that we're talking about. And then you need to get the vocab words or any other very important information. It can be important people, important places. We need to do that in a different color. So for this one, we have done in blue the word civilizations, and it's occurred twice on here. So it is highlighted twice. And then over here, you need to write a question, and you need to highlight that question in another color. So for each slide, you're going to be writing a question. Now, this question can be something that you wonder about from these notes, or it can be a question that is directly answered in the notes. So maybe you have a question about, okay, this was one of the first farming civilizations, so what kind of crops did they grow? Maybe that's your question. Or your question can be one that's answered over here. You could say your question could be, what is a civilization? Or how was Mesopotamia a civilization? Something like that. Okay, so it can be something that you wonder about, or it can be something that is answered in these notes. Either way. And then after you're done with this section, you need to draw a line across the bottom of this section. And this is going to separate each of our different slides. So we should have a line that is across and between the essential question and this slide, and then we should have another line below this slide.